Adyavazai is found in all living forms, and it is this which connects the soul with the physical self. Why are plants sensitive even if they do not have a mind? It is because of Adyavazai. In plants, Adyavazai is directly transformed into sensation. Therefore, plants have the capacity of recognition, memory, and understanding others' feelings. The universe is comprised of two entities, soul and no soul. One entity contains life and the other is not living or lifeless. The living being is conscious while the non-living body is without consciousness. Some schools of philosophy in the West and the Sharvak philosophy in India accept only the physical or non-living self as what is real. They deny the very existence of the soul. But there are other philosophies that propose a completely different dynamic, that the soul has an independent existence. How do we account for these two fundamentally different schools of thought? Those who accept that the mind contains all known reality do not acknowledge that consciousness extends beyond that we physically perceive. They reject any theory of consciousness beyond their personal understanding, which is limited at best. Fortunately, those who do not limit their acceptance of reality to the corporeal have a wider understanding of consciousness. There are two forces at work in this paradigm: Adiavazai, conscious energy or prime drives, and Chitta, psyche or conscious mind. The Chitta, thought conscious in nature, addresses the corporeal or physical body, whereas the Adyavazai extends consciousness beyond the body. Adyavazai is the field of conscious vibrations working with the karmic energy. Pure conscious vibrations from the soul cross the field of kashai or passion. After coming out, the vibrations affected by the kashai from a field, which is called Adyavazai. When our conscious energy ascends to Adyavazai, our body is left behind. Kashai is the impulse of malevolent energy or delusion which stains the consciousness with its own color. In other words, Kashai is indeed bad energy because of attachment and aversion. Okay? So it is fourfold, consisting of anger, ego, deceit, and greed. Whenever any activity is done at the physical, mental, or verbal level based by attachment or aversion, the soul attracts inauspicious karma. This karma forms the field of kashai, stays there for a certain time, and then is shed. There are two stages of karma: rising and, cessation of karma. Okay? So rising karma leaves its effect of the conscious vibrations passing through this field. In this case, the Adyavasai also becomes malevolent and hence its manifestation at the physical level is harmful. Cessation is threefold: subsidence come, destruction, and total destruction. In all three stages of karma is ineffective. If there is sensation of karma, is any form, the conscious vibrations passing through the field of kashai do not get affected and hence stay pure. Consequently, the Adyavasa is pure, and at the physical level, the thought, attitude, or behavior is also pure. Adyavasai, being subtle in nature, is beyond the perception of common man, but it connects the soul and body. Spiritual leaders consider the body and soul to be two distinct entities, okay? But if they are different, how are they related? What is the point where the body and consciousness come together? This is a complex question that must consider the physical, the spiritual, and the main points of understanding in between. Let's approach this little differently. The soul is the nucleus center which is conscious. This is surrounded by the field of Kashai, which is harmful to the soul. The latter is so powerful it rules over the soul. As a matter of fact, the soul is potentially the most powerful because it is pure, but Kashai becomes more powerful and dominates the soul, hiding its purity. So, the pure conscious energy always has to pass through the domain of impure Kashai. From the Kashai, the conscious energy enters the next orbit, the field of Adya Kashai, Adya Bashai. This system works actively with Taija Sharir or the bioelectric body. The Taija Sharir gives energy to the field of Aryavazai. Aryavazai is more important than the mind. It is not your mind that makes you good or evil, positive or negative, pure or impure. It is the Aryavazai. A lay person cannot understand this. Only one who has realized himself can estimate the value of Aryavasai. Aryavasai is the point where the consciousness and body can be experienced separately and relation between the two can be understood. In mundane life, worldly activities, it is hard to experience the existence of Aryavasai, whereas the mind is easy to recognize. That is why the mind is easily accepted. The domain of the mind is unique. The mind is not found in every living being. It exists only in human beings and in intellectually developed animals. Aryavasai, on the other hand, is found in all living beings, including plants. It is believed that all living beings, from one sense beings like plants or to five sense beings like humans, are subject to the bonds of karma. A being with um, a being with a mind certainly attracts karma, but so do living beings without a mind. In Sutra Kritang, the second canonical text of the Jainism, Mahavir explains this is a very interesting way. When active, the mundane soul attracts karma because its actions. When one goes to sleep at night, the conscious mind is inactive. The person is in such deep sleep that he cannot even dream, yet he is attracting and bonding karma. This is important because it is believed that only an active state of mind is responsible for bonding karma. But here we see that even when you are in a deep, dreamless sleep, where conscious activity is impossible, karma enters the body. And if a person has perceived visions or wrong perspectives, he is attracting negative karma in the form of any one of the 18 sins described in Jainism. When Mahavir's disciple heard this, he asked, Lord, how it is possible that a sleeping man can draw karma? Lord Mahavir explained this with two examples. The first example is more significant as it explains the whole idea of Adyavasai. A plant has life, but neither mind nor speech. It only has a body, which is in a constant state of sleep. The conscious such an existence is forever dormant. Plants do not possess mental faculties, yet they attract the 18 negative karma. How does this happen? Lord Mahavir explained that this happens through the Adyavasai, as plants have innumerable expressions of Adyavasai. The expressions of Adyavasai may be benevolent or malevolent. Malevolent expressions, action of violence, possessiveness, anger, greed, pride, deceit, and the like, is responsible for karmic bondage, and plants possess all these negative expressions and emotions. These beings do not have a mind or speech, but they do have an instincts, feelings, and sensations which cause them to unite with karma. Based on our knowledge of the physical, the brain, mind, and speech hold the highest places in the context of knowledge. But the greatest source of knowledge is the subtle word is Aryavasai. According To physical science, the cell is the smallest unit that helps us to know. Cells deliver the same knowledge transmitted by Adyabhasai. The lowest life forms, which have neither mind nor brain, know the world through the cells. Science postulates that the cells um, in plants are more sensitive than those in human beings. Why are plants more sensitive if they do not have a mind? It is because the Aryabhasai, okay? So in plants, Aryabhasai is directly transformed into sensations, so they are more likely to have a capacity of recognition, memory, and understanding others' feelings. A well-known scientist, for example, Dr. Cliff Baxter, has performed a number of experiments of the subtle behavior of plants. One experiment has particularly telling outcome. The experiment began with two plants located in an empty room, six volunteer participants, and one sheet of paper. He divided the paper into six pieces. One of the pieces he wrote, one of the two plants in the room will be pulled from its pot of crochet. The remaining five were left blank. He then separately folded all six pieces of paper, but then on the table of left the room. Next, he put a blindfold over the eyes of the six volunteers before they entered to the room. They were each told to pick up one of the folded papers and asked to follow the instruction of the paper, if there were any. None of them knew what was writing on the sheets. The volunteer who had picked up the paper with the writing statement followed through as instructed. Okay, he pulled one of the plants out of the pot from its roots and began to read it apart. Afterwards, all the participants left the room. Then a polygraph machine was connected to the remaining plant. Dr. Baxter asked the six participants to re-enter the room. He was, to this point, unaware which person had uprooted the plant. Each participant has asked to stand briefly next to the remaining plant to see if there was any detectable reaction from the plant. Five of the volunteers stood next to the plant without eliciting a response to the dictable by the polygrapher. However, as the last person approached to the plant, a very noticeable response was detected by the polygrapher, substantially different from the other responses. The plant recognized that this person had destroyed the other plant and was frightened of him. This proves that plants have intuitive attributes that are not available or readily accessible to humans. Dr. Baxter performed a second experiment with other plants. Again, a polygraph machine was connected to a number of plants. While he was into the room with the plants, he thought of setting fire to the plants. As soon as the focus of this thought, the pointer of the polygraph started to move. The pointer was showing the apprehension of the plants based on the stalks. As long as he kept thinking the same thought, he polygraphed indicate the fear experienced by the plants. He got up and went outside. Abruptly, he changed his mind and returned to the room with a positive feeling and moved close to the plants with the thought of not hurting them. The effect was amazing. There was no movement in the pointer. The plants were at ease. Men cannot read each other's minds, but plants do so. How do we plan this? What helps plants sense of strongly? It seems that there are attributes of knowing that are beyond the abilities of the mind. The mind is not the foundation of source of knowledge. The source of knowledge is Adyavazai. It is the origin of all sensation. Man approaches this understanding from the opposite direction, ignoring the Adyavasai and viewing the mind as the source of all knowledge. So the soul consciousness is at the center, surrounded by the field of Kashai. The field of Adyavasai or consciousness energy is next. Till this level, the physical body has no function. Only the karmic body and Taija Sharir have control over these fields. The karmic and bioelectric bodies have no limbs, neurological network, or brain. There is no spinal cord. There is not single means to a center of knowledge. Yet they are capable of connection. You might wonder what the significance of such bodies is. These subtle bodies have knowledge, not in a sentient sense, but through the Aryavasai. Since Aryavasai has conscious power, it has the potential to know. This knowledge does not require organs or physical faculties. It can access knowledge without the help of the physical body and is the border between physical and non physical function. After this field, knowledge through the physical body comes into effect. When impulses or vibrations come out uh, of the field of Aryavasai, they enter the domain of the corporeal. When impulses appear at the physical level, the physical body gets connected with the soul. This means the vibrations inside start getting sensed at the physical level. The main word of conscious vibration is the formation of Shira, and Shira, representative of the cell of consciousness, is the bridge between the physical body and the soul. It controls all mental, physical, and vocal actions. The Chitta is created with the help of the brain. At this level, knowledge is manifested through the organs of physical body. Here, of course, knowledge needs the functionality of the body for its reflection. The Chitta enables true knowledge of an object. So now we are going to make a very, very powerful and simple practice. So again, put your hands in Gyan Mudra over your knees and close your eyes. Start breathing very, very, very slowly through your nostrils, okay? Breathe, inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale, inhale and exhale, okay? Breathe, 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 and breathe, okay? Now we are going to visualize a black energy coming out when we exhale from our nostrils, and we are going to visualize very white and radiant light coming in through our nostrils, okay? When we inhale, we see very white light coming within our body to our nostrils. When we exhale, we will see black energy going out from our body, okay? So we must concentrate on this by 10 minutes, okay? So just concentrate and visualize energy coming within our body and going out from our body, okay? So concentrate by 15 or 20 minutes. Blessings.